Ladies and gentlemen, we are here with writer-director Josh Ruben. He directed the film Werewolves Within. It just screened at Tribeca, and it's going to be coming out on June 25th. So this is a movie. Let me give you the quick synopsis. A proposed pipeline creates divisions within the small town of Beaverfield, and a snowstorm traps its residents together in the local inn. Newly arrived forest ranger Finn, Sam Richardson, and a postal worker Cicely, Melania Vaintrub. I'm terrible. Okay, must try
Weintrub.
Weintrub. See, thank you. This is why you're the director. Must try to keep the peace and uncover the truth behind a mysterious creature that has been terrorizing the community. Josh, how are you, man?
I'm very well. Thank you so much for having me, hearing me out, covering this little creature feature.
Oh God, I loved this one. I have to say, I loved it more than Scare Me. This one was so much fun. Uh, and yeah, how did you become attached to this project?
Vanishing Angle, the producing partners with Ubisoft, they asked if I'd like to be considered or throw my hat in the ring on this gig, and Ubisoft developed this wonderful script with Mishna, and I basically opened Mishna's script, and it just felt like arachnophobia and Fargo had a baby, and I had to pitch, and here we are.
It was, yeah, you were definitely the right fit for it. Were there, you say Fargo and arachnophobia, were there any other uh, inspirations that kind of spoke to you while you were reading it?
I certainly thought a lot about Haas, and once I saw everyone in the room, Clue felt very relevant.
Mhm.
You know, the fact that we were working with these kind of tableau shots and that.
I'm having a connection issue, I think, here. I apologize.
Oh,
Okay,
no worries.
there we are.
Might be
There we're
me.
back. Okay. So, okay, now the cast is as good as Clue. It's amazing. How did you guys even begin to cast this movie?
Gail Keller, she's a wonderful casting director, and also just starting with friends. I made a list of the friends I want to work with: Rebecca Henderson, George Basil, Milana Weintraub. Once Sam Richardson agreed to come aboard as Finn, I mean that really solidified the entire thing. And asking folks too, like George Basil and Harvey Guillen, who do you want to play your Gwen? Who do you want to play your husband? And them suggesting Sarah Burns and Cheyenne Jackson, respectively. So it was a combination of, working with a great casting director and her great team, working with the other actors, and making a dream list and just sort of swinging for the
If I were
fences.
to pick a husband, I probably would have picked Cheyenne Jackson too.
Oh,
So
yeah, same. Same.
yeah, the ensemble is impeccable, and their chemistry is just wonderful. Now in this movie, okay, so in Scare Me, it was a horror comedy in a rural
Mm-hmm.
setting.
Mm-hmm.
Werewolves Within, same thing but a grander scale. So, uh, what is it about a rural atmosphere that kind of pulled you in or inspired you?
Well, with Scare Me, it's that kind of Duplassian thing of writing to your resources. I knew I could put up the first AD and the cinematographer up at my mom and dad's house while we're shooting in the winter in Woodstock, and that it wouldn't cost anything. So, writing to the resources of a location, shooting locally in the Hudson Valley, and having connections here back at home. And then the fact too, I opened Mission Script and it feels like the small towns I grew up in. And I sort of thought, hey, I told Ubisoft and Vanishing Angle, I think we should swing for the Hudson Valley. There are good tax credits. There's incredible scenery and great location like Spillian, for example, which is the event space and bed and breakfast that we shot for the Beaverfield Inn.
Yeah, and that was a practical location? That was a
Yeah,
production?
inside and
Wow.
out. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
That's
You
absolutely
can have your
amazing.
wedding there. You can go party there. Go spend the weekend there. Mark and Lee, tell them Josh sent you. They're great.
You can have your very own werewolf whodunit wedding event.
Absolutely, yeah. Like a
See?
theater night. That'd be cool.
See?
Totally.
There
Yeah.
there
Who
you
done it
go.
birthday party? That's right.
Now, again with horror comedy, what is that connection? What is that connection between horror and comedy that works so well?
Probably the that kind of trodden description of um sudden reaction, that sudden visceral reaction, sudden laughter, sudden startle. But it's also no money fun, like what do people do when they sit around a fire? They say, "Tell me a joke or tell me a scary story." Um, it's kind of like it's an instant way to get a bit of an endorphin buzz, an adrenaline rush without having to necessarily go anywhere or do much more than sort of deliver the aforementioned.
Mm. Well, yeah, I was seeing that connection and I was like, huh, I wonder, what that's all about. So, I have kind of an inside baseball question for you, and actually inside film. There's a very specific rhythm or tone that you've taken with your two films. Um, it's very fast, glib, rapid fire. Um, is this your personality, or is this kind of the tone that you're picking for the film?
Well, I'd like to think that the tone picked for the film only supports the film and supports the storytelling and supports the script. I can say that a kind of glib, acerbic, tempered nature really supported Scare Me and its kind of contained, permeating dread and weirdness and irreverence, and then leaning into the sort of paced up um, glibness or sentiment with Werewolves Within certainly, aids in the clue of it all.
Mhm.
It's probably who I am to a degree. It's my personality is certain and laid in the film, and I imagine that tone will shift accordingly given what the next story is. I have projects that are going to go a little darker and a little more tempered and a little more bleak, and then ones that might be a little more sort of sprawling. And We'll just have to see, because the film is a living organism. You can realize in the edit that your intended tone can sort of shift and change. It happened with Werewolves Within. I didn't expect it to be as kind of, I guess, it's inelegant to say, but stylish as it is. It is stylish, paced up. Where I pictured something even a pinch more grounded like Arachnophobia, but what it ended up being is a ride. I mean, the movie is more of a ride than even I thought or sought out
Oh,
it to
yeah.
be,
It
despite my
was
kind of hot fuzz comp. Yeah.
yeah, it was a lot of fun. And I honestly was guessing all the way up to the end, so I was like, "What?" Now there's, the cast, as I said before, is remarkable, but it's filled with weirdos. Do you happen to have a favorite? Because there were moments that just made me cackle. Like, there were
Yeah.
bits that each one of them were doing that just made me die.
They all kill me. I mean, they all kill me. George kills me. Sam kill. I mean, they all destroy me. But I think Rebecca Henderson gets an extra 9 points because not only was she irreverent and weird, and she could read the phone book and it's funny. She also had to do pretty much everything in a fraction of the time the rest of the cast did, because she was, I don't want to say an afterthought, but because Dr. Ellis was sequestered to the back room, we would knock out these kind of big tableau scenes and then go do Rebecca's stuff. And it was like, okay, Rebecca, sorry, we have 35 minutes to, can you, okay, so you're going to do a breakdown and you're also going to do the science stuff. And you're also going to, do this kind of reverent look back to the door and give us an Agatha Christie kind of eyebrow raise and give me a suspicious version. And then we're done, and she just took it like a champ, over delivered, gave me options, made us all cackle, and did it in a fraction of the time, with such grace and lack of ego. It was just like phenomenal to watch.
Well, I'm getting the cue to wrap it up, but again, Josh, this was an even better movie, and I simply can't wait to see what you do next. Um, it was so much fun, and I was howling. I did not even intend it, but again,
Wow.
yeah, but it was great. So I really enjoyed it, you guys. Check out Werewolves Within. It's everything we talked about: Clue, arachnophobia. It's all that, and it's fun as hell. It's going to be in theaters June 25th, and it's going to be available to rent everywhere on July 2nd. But just go see it in the theaters because that's fun. Anyway, Josh, thank you so much for everything, and look forward to talking to you again.
Thanks, Norman. Appreciate
All right,
it.
take care, man.
All right, you too.